Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome back to my channel. So we're doing a narcissistic tarot reading today. And if you do enjoy my readings, please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, please leave me a comment and let me know if this reading resonates with you. All right, so I have done a little bit more research and I've almost finished my Narcissist deck. It's a little bit thicker now, so we might have a little bit more information than we used to have. So the whole idea behind this is to help ourselves and other people that we love overcome narcissism. So some of these cards don't have the room on the back to put any extra information, but if I do have extra room, I try to put how to cope with the situations. So that will, kind of give you a little bit of solid ground in case you can't afford to go to a psychologist. If you do, if you're dealing with a violent narcissist, I highly recommend that you go and take care of yourself and get safe, okay? But this is basically just a lot of people have got some pretty heavy tendencies in 2020. I think we're all just a little fed up. So it's easier to change and to help others if you know what you're looking for. So let's go ahead and start out with the regular reading. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, and this is what's crossing you. And basically this is talking about new solid gains and a new house or a new job or a huge change, some kind of change on all levels, it says. Possibly some goals that you might have set might be coming through, and even new beginnings. So it says to manifest what you want, introduce something new. Could be a marriage or a child. So this is what's crossing you, though. So maybe you're having trouble manifesting these things that you really, this is definitely a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. All Pentacle cards are Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. And Earth signs. Okay. So your second card is Aces as well, which is symbolic for the number 1. And the number 1 is always talking about new beginnings, new opportunities, and new potential. So let's go ahead and read this card. Now this one is having to do with Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, which are water signs. And this is the self-love card. So you may have been dealing with everybody else and you've put yourself on the back burner, and that is not a good idea, Capricorn. You definitely want to help other people, but you can't do that unless you help yourself first. So, if you want to take that as a sign, you have to help yourself, okay? And then this could also mean new love, new passion, or a pull to new dreams. So you might have been experiencing blocked emotions or, something of that nature. So just make sure that you're taking care of not just your physical self. A lot of people think that this card is just talking about taking care of your physical self, but really, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you need to be taking care of yourself as well. So if you're a Capricorn and you're with somebody like this, or someone like this affects your reality on the daily basis, you make sure that they're taking care of themselves, because they can't help you or their children or anyone else until they take care of themselves. All right, so I know that I had to go get my blood work done not too long after the pandemic had started, and I just knew that the hospital was going to be full of sick people. And there was nobody in the hospital. So everybody that has COVID has to line up outside. This is in southern Mississippi in the car. But if you don't have, if you have to go for blood work or something like that, then you go into the hospital. And there was no one in the hospital. It's like people are afraid to go to the hospital. I feel like that's the safest place to be because they clean it so regularly, and all the COVID patients, they have to park outside. So I don't know how it is everywhere, but don't be afraid if you need to go to the doctor for something that maybe you just need to go get your eyes checked, or maybe whatever it is. Don't be afraid to go to the doctor, because when I went there, the office was completely empty. And I was just like, this is weird. I just had assumed that the place was going to be packed full of sick people, right? you know. Anywho, don't put yourself on the back burner emotionally or physically. If you're feeling a lot of emotional distress, then you might look into your shadow self. That can really help you to, decipher what's going on that might be bringing you down, especially if you found yourself in repetitive issues that just keep coming back. All right, so for your immediate future, okay, so that's your past right here. This last card, the Ace of Cups, that's all in your past. So you have, maybe you did already take care of yourself, but in the past you put yourself on the back burner and let things go. So in your future, we've got the Three of Pentacles, which is, the three is an expression or a groups or growth. So this is definitely going to help you. It says that hold on, I'm sorry. This is the Three of Pentacles reversed. So let's see, for lack of harmony, you might be having trouble with being a leader or a follower. Sometimes, expectations require that you do certain things. And it is hard to be a follower, especially, or even a leader sometimes. But make sure that this lack of motivation doesn't become a problem because of isolation. There's that isolation again. So a lot of people are getting very sick all over the country, and that's definitely gonna cause some isolation for some people. And just don't let it destroy you. Don't allow yourself, if you see yourself getting out of control with emotionally. I know that if I stay home for a longer period of time, I get emotionally drained, even depressed. And if you ask me why I'm depressed, I'll probably just start crying. I have no idea why I'm depressed. It's just something that happens when you're alone for long periods of time. All right. So for your final outcome, we've got the Two of Pentacles, which is earthly, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. So we have a lot of pentacles here. So that's really great though. Pentacles, that's my sign. Pentacles are associated with Virgo. So let me see. So Virgo is associated with Mercury, and it's all about examining. And so you have quite a few pentacle cards in this reading. So I just want to go over this a little bit. Mercury is a mutable sign, and it is also, Mercury is associated with a mutable sign, and it's an earth sign. It's from August 23rd to September 22nd. And let's see, Taurus is associated with Venus, which is all about I have. and it's a fixed sign, and it's with Earth. And then Capricorn, which is also, you know, an Earth sign, is Saturn. It's related to Saturn, and it says I use, and it's a cardinal sign and an Earth sign from December 22nd to January 19th. So, happy birthday. I actually have a little, let me see. It's behind my camera. I put my tiny book behind the camera. Hold on. I'm going to swap it out with another tiny book. So I have this cute little book that was either my grandma's or my mom's. No, it was my grandma's. Alright, so let's read you a little happy birthday quote since I actually have this super cute book. Alright. Youth is such a wonderful thing. What a crime to waste it on children. Oh no. Alright, this is an old book. It's definitely a little it's a little bit offensive, but like anything on this channel could be construed as offensive. So if you're easily offended, this definitely is not the channel for you. But let's read a couple more because these are so hilarious, okay? I don't know if I should. Somebody's probably going to get really offended, but... Alright, take care of the minutes, and the hours will take care of themselves. Lord Chesterfield. Okay. For the happiest life, days should be rigorously planned, but nights left to chance. All right, and that's by Mignon McLaughlin. All right, so there's your happy birthdays. I hope that made you smile. I know there's some kind of a little bit rude. So let's go ahead and pull some Narcissist cards. Now, like I said, I have redone this deck, and I swear it's not that dusty. I just made this deck. I don't know how it got so dusty. Whoops. Oh my goodness. This is crazy dusty. I literally just made this deck. I don't know how it's so dusty. It's making me want to sneeze. I have a plant sitting over my little area right here, and it's dying because it's been really cold in Mississippi, and so that's probably not helping with the dust in my little corner of the kitchen. Alright, are y'all ready for some Narcissist cards? Alright, so I think we have to finish this Two of Pentacles. So this one's all about balancing, and this is your final outcome. Flexibility, whistle while you work. So coping with the demands of others and refusing to let change, you know, throw you for a loop, basically. So, you know, I guess my goal in life is to try to find a job where I enjoy what I do, and that it's not something that, you know, that I, you know, you grow to hate it after a while. You definitely want to do something that you love and something that makes you happy, okay? You don't want to be stuck in a monotonous plane of just self-degradation, okay? Alright, so there's your final outcome. We've got the Two of Pentacles, and I got a little bit off there for a second because we've got 3 Pentacle cards and 1 Cups, and so I wanted to go ahead and give you that info. But let's go ahead and let's lay down some Narcissist cards. Alright, so this one is this isn't a phrase that a narcissist might tell you. Alright, so it says, you're the only one who thinks that. So if you're going and you're talking to a narcissist, this is kind of a form of gaslighting. So if you're trying to overcome some unsettling, maybe something that's really offended you, and you tell your narcissist or whatever the issue is, and then they don't take it to heart. They don't change or try to change or even listen to what you said. They say you're the only one who thinks that. That's just basically denying anything that you said was true, and not working towards communication or change. All right. And then underneath, that was under what's crossing you. So this might be someone in your life. And that can go along with anybody who just answers your questions with a question. That kind of, trickery. Anywho, let's move on to your recent past. So we've got the Ace of Cups here. This is all about Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And it may be associated with addiction. So this is the narcissist. This is the card about substance abuse and narcissistic abuse. So this is from Dr. Romani's page. If you do want to watch this video, you can look up addicts and narcissists, I think is what I typed in, and it brought back substance abuse and narcissistic abuse. All right, so this says transitional relationship. Rehabilitation does not help self-righteous narcissistic people. Poorly emotional regulations, so they don't really know how to control their emotions. A lot of times, this isn't always the person's fault. They may have had a family member who died, or a close friend who died, or something of that nature, where they use the drugs to give themselves a high to push through social anxiety. And that isn't a long-term answer. As a matter of fact, it's like digging yourself a hole. All right, it's not a good idea. So it says, instead of judging someone for who they are, they blame the drugs. So you can't do that. You have to you can't expect that when somebody gets off drugs that they're going to be somebody different. They may. Sometimes I can tell a huge difference. I know that when people are on drugs, typically they do more stupid things, especially whenever they're trying to get the drugs. So reward system dopamine response. So this is basically like, people who can't regulate whatever it is. Like if there's an addiction, they can't regulate it with drugs or medications. They always deny everything. Denial is a very, very rough bump to get over. You really can't change until you accept that you have a problem. All right, rationalization. You have to realize that they're not going to, you can't rationalize with them. You can't try to get them to listen to you. Maybe after they may have gone to jail for a period of time, they might be more willing to listen to therapy or something of that nature. But if you're not a therapist, chances are they're not going to listen to you. And most narcissists just tell you what you want to hear. And that's unfortunate for them, because they're never going to overcome whatever it is that's put them in this perpetual state of repeated issues, All right, so then we have malignant narcissists, stimulants, and disinhibiting state. Okay, so people get so accustomed to the types of drug that they get addicted to, like stimulants, that they may get into some type of drug program to help them overcome it. But typically they just take a lesser stimulant or some other type of medication to something that's not going to come up on a drug test. But, if coffee is something that will help you overcome this old addictions, such as any kind of uppers, are going to cause you to want that stimulant. Also, it fortifies grandiosity, according to Dr. Romney. By using drugs to prop up their own ego. So if they're feeling sad or depressed, instead of making a roadmap to their future and accepting the fact that they're not perfect and what are they going to do to change the situation, typically they will just do drugs to make themselves feel better. But just because you forget about what's going on doesn't mean that it's really going away. You're just putting it on the back burner for it to come. It's just that something you'll still have to deal with in the future. All right, so this is an addict, and this has to do with your recent past. So you may have dealt with somebody like this in your past, and in your immediate future, we've got all right, this one's not really it's not a very long card, but it's kind of like that person that tries to annoy you. It says, I know you are, but what am I? So this kind of reminds me of like the playground kid that has a crush on you, and they're just like following you around and picking at your hair and trying to irritate you, and you don't realize, you think that they hate you, but really they've got a crush on you. So but these are the type of irritants, and this one goes with your immediate future. This one goes with the Three of Pentacles reversed, which has to do with Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, and it has a lot to do with isolation, lack of motivation, problems because of isolation. So you might just be sitting in the house all the time. Nowadays, it's like, that vacation that you took and you're in the car in the back seat with your siblings for like 18 hours straight. Well, it feels like that's how life is now, because a lot of people are not even able to leave their house to go to work or to go to school. And that kind of irritation is just something that we're going to have to grow used to as, isolation becomes more and more forced on us. I highly, let's see. So for your last card and the final outcome, we've got the Two of Pentacles, and that's basically just juggling all this stuff that's going around. And the card that goes with this one is Fake. So you should see the picture on this card. He kind of looks like he's let me show you if you can see it. It's kind of an old one. I'm working on some of these too, these new cards. This is just my learning deck. But basically this one is about balancing and juggling everything. But if you have somebody who's not really got your back and they're faking you out while you're trying to succeed, I always believe in having a backup plan, because you never know if someone's really going to come through for you, and you don't want to be fully dependent on them, especially if it has to do with your business or something of that nature. All right, Capricorn. Well, I gave you an extra long reading this time because I had 70 views on my video thanks to you, Capricorns. So let's do some solidifiers, okay? I have this wonderful deck, which is basically a DIY oracle deck. I just made it based on quite a few different oracle decks that I researched online, and I love this deck because it's just so positive. All right, so the first card that we got is Persistence is Key. So for what's crossing you, you've got you're the only one who thinks that card, and the Ace of Pentacles. Persistence is key, okay? And then for your recent past, you've got the self-love card, and then you've got the addict narcissist card. And then we've got break free from codependency. So, to me, with this addict card right next to it, there might be someone who's codependent on you, and you may have to break free from that. But it could be the other way around. If you are dependent on somebody, especially if they're an addict, that's not solid ground to stand on. So make sure that you are codependent and that you also don't enable somebody. That's the hardest part about having an addict in your life. This was your past, but it was recent past. So for the immediate future, we've got the Three of Pentacles, which has to do, which is reversed, and it's all about like lack of harmony. Maybe you're just not doing really spiffy after 2020. Maybe you really do need to give yourself some self-love, but you've got this I know you are, but what am I up in your ear. So your oracle card says catfish. So this is social networking card that has to do with someone might have nefarious purposes. All right, so to keep the fish a line on the boat after they have been caught. All right, so that's the literal fishing example of a catfish. But you may not be dealing with who you think you are, is what this really is talking about. So right now, I just want to reiterate that people are in dire straits. They will do anything to pay their bills and keep a roof over their head, even if they seem like legit good people. They might be legit good people that are trying to feed their children. So just be careful who you're giving money to. Don't give money to anybody who basically, especially if you can't afford to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't afford to help somebody, don't help them, because you may not ever get that money back, especially right now, okay? So, Two of Pentacles, you're juggling everything, you're trying to keep everything together. You've got somebody in your life who's faking you out. You got a blank card. I just love it when I get a blank card. I guess that means, like, I don't know what that means. We're going to pull another card. All right, it says time to bloom. You're unawakened. If you're unawakened, then it really is time to, see the truth, see things for what they are, okay? Don't be fooled by the news or the media telling you what to believe or telling you what to do. You should always do your own research and see what's really going on, especially before you go off on a tangent. I think I'm going to just leave it at that on there, okay, because we got a lot going on right now in the country. It's just too much. Alrighty, so Capricorn, it has been so nice talking to you. If you do like my narcissistic cards, let me know, and if there is something that I can do to help you push through, just let me know and I'll see what I can do. I have quite a bit of experience, unfortunately. So you all just have a wonderful day and keep on keeping on.